Morning. It's fantastic to be back here at Future Decoded and in London. From what I'm told, there's a very diverse group of folks here. There's IT pros and developers. We have business decision makers and CTOs. And quite frankly, it takes that diversity of talent to really decode the future. The best way to perhaps conceptualize even the opportunity ahead of us is to think of computing not being this separate thing from the world, but computing getting deeply embedded in the world that we see and that we work in and that we live in, right? There is every walk of life, every part of our industry and economy is being digitized. There isn't a place, whether it's at home or at work or a stadium or a factory, that's not now being digitized. There isn't an industry, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's in retail or financial services, that's not fundamentally being transformed because of digital technology. We've seen many examples of how technology is being used by organizations. We've talked about some of the unintended consequences, but one of the other challenges that we have to step up to is, can all of this progress, all of this technology advance, even reach segments of our economies and societies where market economics don't work, where you do need, in fact, cutting-edge tech, but that cutting-edge tech needs to be available such that a nonprofit, a charity organization, can also deploy it and get benefits. Because that's, unless and until we do that, this technology is going to be a factor of production in one part of our economy and is not going to really have its impact broadly felt. And that's where what we have seen with Loreburn Housing Association. I had a chance to learn about the work they're doing, and more importantly, even the technology provider for them, CM2000, which is a local partner of ours, that is working with them and saying, okay, one of the fundamental challenges of anyone who is managing lots of properties, this is a nonprofit that manages many properties for the elderly, is how do we avoid the epidemic of falls? Because if you think about it, first of all, it leads to fatalities. But even if it's not a fatality, one of the challenges of an elderly person falling is the healthcare challenge that then ensues. So the best way to deal with this is to have preventive care. And there are now, given what sensors I talked about, given all of the machine learning algorithms I talked about, it's actually pretty straightforward. If they can deploy, for example, a wearable that in a very privacy-preserving way can detect a fall before it happens, but goes beyond the fall. It can detect all other conditions, and then have this nonprofit organization provide better care for people who are in their housing facilities. And that's really what Loreburn Housing Association in combination with CM2000 is doing and rolling out. And to me, to be able to see technology being used even where traditionally technology was not at the forefront, where markets and market incentives by themselves don't work, means that we have reached that threshold of really broad, ubiquitous use of technology. And to me, that's what needs to be celebrated. That's, I think, at the core goal of what we want to do.